Right, so this thing barely fits on the camera. Oh, look at this. It is in the original, well, the original box. Oh, it is. Yeah, I'm quite excited because I never had an Amiga 1200 back in the day, and I'm not even sure if I ever actually saw one for real. I think by the time I could have got an Amiga 1200, I think I'd moved on to the PC because Commodore had gone bust and this thing wasn't being supported. Right, so here it is. So the box smells really musty, but this is an old computer, so what are we going to do? We've got a power supply. Is it just a standard Amiga power supply? Oh no, it's like tiny. It's tiny and light and slightly rattly. 25 watts. Oh, it does smell funny. I don't know if that's just a standard power supply. Is that what the Amiga 1200 came with? I thought the Amiga 1200 needed more power, so maybe would have needed a bigger power supply. Ha! The world's yellowest Commodore mouse. Oh my god. It is actually a Commodore mouse though. That's quite good though, because I want to do some experiments with retrobrighting, and I think this might be a good candidate because this is super yellow. So I don't know if that came with the Amiga 1200 or not. This is where it's at. Oh! There it is. It's got super yellow keys. I've never seen keys this yellow before. That is crazy. They are so yellow. It's unbelievable. The case is really white, but the keys have gone really yellow. How stupid. So yeah, I'd never seen one of these before. Never had one back in the day. And why are they going for so much on eBay? I've been trying to buy one, a broken one to fix, and I thought I'd get one cheap, you know, £100 or less. Even the broken ones were going for £200. I bid on loads and let them all go because I thought I'm never going to be able to get one of these. So somebody put this on for £280 and I just offered 240 for it, and I just thought they wouldn't accept it, and they did. So I got it. So it's just the Amiga, the power supply and a mouse, and it comes in the box obviously. There's no software or anything, and apparently it does have a fault. Apparently the floppy drive doesn't work. I have to have a look into that. But yeah, it's super yellow. It's unbelievable. I mean, I know you can fake these, but it still does have the warranty seal on it. It's quite possible that it actually hasn't been tampered with, which is probably a good thing. I did notice it had these green marks on the auction, but yeah, it just looks like green pen or paint or something like that. Should we have a look in the trapdoor while we're here? So there's nothing in the trapdoor, which is maybe not surprising because these already had 2 megabytes of chip RAM, I believe, so maybe people never expanded their A1200s, I'm not sure. So this is it, the Amiga 1200 with the world's yellowest keys that I've ever seen. At least they match this Commodore mouse. So they must have made them out of the same plastic or something like that. The case looks all right actually though. The case looks pretty good. It's got a bit of green paint on it here and underneath. Oh, and a bit on the keys as well actually. It's on the A key there. But other than that, it's looking all right. So the seller says it boots, but the floppy drive doesn't work. Maybe I'll just try and boot it up. I'll use my own power supply. Won't use that. I haven't tested that one that came with it. Because just because they said the floppy drive doesn't work doesn't mean it doesn't. Let's see if it just turns on to start with. So this is my power supply. This isn't the one that came with it. Yeah, it's got a power light. And it's got a black screen. That's not good. Oh, that took a while to boot, didn't it? God, is that how long the Amiga 1200 takes to boot? Never actually used one of these before, so I don't know. So there we go, 3.00 ROM 39106. I didn't hear the floppy drive at all. It's not making the slightest bit of noise. Oh, no, it is spinning. Oh, it doesn't sound good. No, it doesn't sound very good. Should we break the warranty seal? I suppose we're gonna have to, because there's something wrong with it. Now I do have a spare floppy drive here that is broken, but I think might be able to boot that Amiga test kit better than this one. Also wonder if this green stuff will come off, whatever it is. Oh, maybe. Yeah, I think that green stuff's coming off with a bit of alcohol. We are going to break the warranty seal. Oh, at least it's got actual screws this time instead of Torx screws. Need to try and not break these clips on the back because they are fragile. There we go. Oh, oh, right. That's the lid off. So it's got this like weird light assembly. Oh, I could have just unplugged that. Okay, so that does just unplug. I've got another floppy drive. So I'll just plug that in. So I'm just doing some initial investigation. Maybe I can find out if this floppy drive really is broken. This is one out of an A600. I assume these are compatible. This is one I've repaired but doesn't quite work. Right, here we go. Didn't even spin that one. Never know which way around to plug floppy drives in. Interesting, this one doesn't even spin. That's weird. So, that is interesting. It can't access these discs, or these drives at least. But it had a better go at the 1200 one. I think it can just detect the fact that the disc's in there. Yeah, so I'm not going to disassemble this any further right now or do any more work to it, but I do have an Amiga 1200 recapping kit here. Just I've got all the caps for it. So one of the things I am going to do is recap this because the caps on this are not very good, and I'm looking at that one there and it does look a bit dodgy. Oh, it's another one of these ones that's behind the connector. The ones I can see don't look really bad, but these caps in these are not very good. I doubt if that's what's stopping the floppy drive from working. This just sounds really unhealthy. So I suspect this is broken. But yeah, it's going to need the floppy drive repairing, and it's going to need a recap other than any cosmetic fixes that might want to be done. So that's the next little project. This one's got something wrong with it. Yeah, I'll be doing that in a future video. I thought this floppy drive would work, but I don't know. But it'd be really nice if I could actually boot something on this. But someone maybe could tell me, is it normal for it to spend that long on the boot screen? That might be indicative of capacitors gone if that's not right. I don't know if that's how long it took to boot. So I'm going to turn it on now. That feels like that's quite a long time. Somebody tell me, is that normal for the 1200? Okay, so it's the next day and I thought I'd just have another quick go at this floppy drive because something I thought was a bit weird about it was the fact that this drive wasn't spinning. So I've taken the A1200 drive out of it that came with it and I've put in this repaired A600 drive. Now when I repaired this, although it did have some faults, it definitely spun up. So I thought there's got to be something wrong there. So I've taken the old drive out, I've shoved this one in and I booted it up and I was noticing that the power light was taking quite a while to come on. I actually sprayed contact cleaner into the power port and I've tried it again and check this out. So the power light comes on immediately and it still takes a little while to boot. But there you go, it's spinning that drive. And there it is. Amiga test kit booted up. So I don't know what was going on yesterday. Maybe this drive runs on 5 volts and 12 volts and the 12 volt line isn't properly connected in there, or maybe it's just not making proper connection. There could also be broken solder joints maybe on the power connector. I'm not exactly sure until I open it up. But this has booted. So that is a win. So I still think that the A1200 drive that came with it is faulty. But what it does mean is that at least the electronics on the board are good. So it's not like got a broken floppy drive controller or anything like that. So this is really good. I've not run this yet to actually have a look because I just wanted to video it. So let's test the memory. So we've got 2 megabytes chip memory, which is correct. And does it work? So that's good. So audio's on. Yeah, that's working. And I've got the keyboard the right way up now, so we can just have a quick go at that. It seems like mostly that's going to be all right. I'll do a full test of that later. This is looking quite good so far. This floppy drive that was in it has gone bad. And this one actually is bad as well, but it's good enough to boot this Amiga test kit because I think it's because there's so little on the disk for this, it just manages it. If I test the floppy drive here, it's already not having a good time reading that, but it's good enough just about to boot the Amiga test kit. It's actually not doing a bad job this time. It actually did okay there, only had a couple of errors. But yeah, let's just see if I can boot another disk then. Let's try and boot a game or something. It might not be able to boot off this disk actually though, because this drive is faulty. Oh, did that reset? I think that just reset. Yeah, I think this drive is actually faulty, so I probably shouldn't be trying this. Oh yeah. Yeah, so I'm going to chalk that one up to the faulty drive, or maybe R-Type doesn't work on 1200, who knows. So yeah, so I can't test any further at the moment, but I think I think the good news is that this computer is pretty much working. It's probably going to need a recap and it might have a fault on the power connector, maybe not. But it's doing all right. Oh yeah, I can hear the heartbeat now as well. The thunking of the disk, that wasn't happening before. Yeah, so I think this power connector just wasn't in properly or wasn't making good connection. I wonder if that means that this drive does actually work. I'm going to give this one more try. Yeah, so there is something very wrong with the original one. It's not even checking the disk. It's got some kind of electronic failure possibly.